Hey y'all. So, disclaimer from the very beginning. I know that the quality is horrible. I know because this is my laptop and I'm using my webcam to record and it sucks. It's horrible quality. I know. But check this fro out. Like, it's giving me all kinds of life, baby. And I never wear my hair in a fro. But it's like giving me all kinds of life. I really just took some braids down, so that's why I have this. I'm gonna wash my hair after this video, so y'all get in your girl in bare form. No makeup, no hair, no jewelry. I got on my pajamas. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about Iyanla Fix My Life, the lie detector part 1 and 2. We just gonna lump it together. Like, we're not doing, I didn't do two videos. We're just gonna go ahead and lump it together because I didn't even plan on watching it, to be honest with you. Like, I kind of fell off of Iyanla Fix My Life because for some reason it always gets me in my emotions, and I don't have time for that. Like, every week to be all up in my emotions, I don't like it. I don't like it. So, especially when it's like not like when it's real people, not just like celebrities. Like when they bring the celebrities on, I'm always like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's cool entertainment because it's a celebrity. But when they bring like the real people on, like real world people, degular people like myself, it always gets me in my emotions for some reason. So I had no plans on watching it, but I didn't have anything else to watch, and it showed up on my recommendations on YouTube. So I was like, hey, no commercials. Let's go ahead and watch this then. And baby, it was good. It was really, really good. It was. So it's a story of a mom who had 3 daughters with a man. I think they were married too at some point. In the beginning, she was fucking somebody else, and that man was always gone, so she didn't have the the attention and affection that she wanted. So she started sleeping around with the man that she had the 3 girls by. I think his name was Marvell, something like that. She started sleeping with him. She got pregnant by him, and she told her boyfriend, and he was like, well, just don't tell the child, you know what I mean? Like, have the child and don't tell the child that she belongs to him. I'll just raise her and that'll be that. Well, she says no, because that's not right. She deserves to know. But I don't really believe the man said that, because if she was so head over heels in love with him, she would have went with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that actually happened. I think he left her. And then she went back to the man that she got pregnant by, and he wanted his daughter. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want her to have an abortion, so she had the baby and ended up having 2 more kids by him. So she was, when you go through a violation as a child or a little girl, teenager, you are heightened when you have kids. Like me, I'm always like, no, you can't go over here because I don't know who's over there. It might be somebody's man's over there that like to touch people's kids or whatever. So I mean, it's the harsh reality of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just life that when you've been violated and you have a daughter, you want to make sure that doesn't happen to her. So you're kind of like on 10 with that prevention. So because she was violated at 12, she just like had that in her mind. Like, that's always her thought process, is somebody violating her daughter. So she something bit the freak out my foot. So she said that the middle daughter, she was either the middle or baby. I can't remember which one she was. She was either the middle or the baby daughter. But no, she had to be the middle, because the older daughter said she didn't want her around. She would throw toys and try to kill her because she felt that if she wasn't there, she would get the attention again. So yeah, the middle daughter. came around, and the dad took her for a weekend or whatever, and the mom was like, that didn't sit well with her, that he only wanted to take one and not both of them. Like, why wouldn't you want to take both of the girls? Why do you only want to take one of the girls? Was kind of like how she was feeling about it. So when he bought the little girl back, of course she was searching for something, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was already in her mind that he only wanted to take one for a reason. He wanted her alone so that he could do something to her. That was already in her mind. So she was just looking for something. But no, maybe she didn't know that the other girl was going to be with them, Nicole, because it's what, Nicole, Brittany, and Whitney. I guess he didn't want to take the youngest one at that time, which would have been Brittany. But Nicole, I guess, was already staying with him because Nicole said she was there. They were in the truck on the way back to bring the little girl home. And she was like, I sat there next to her and watched her drop popsicle, like let the popsicle spill and melt down into her underwear. Like, I'm like, maybe she had a dress on or something. Because, like, how the hell you get popsicles stick in your underwear? Like, what? I'm so confused. But anywho, she was like, I told you it was popsicle stick. Everybody tried to tell you that. The courts, look. So she done made the story in her own mind, and she done told herself this shit for 25 years. So now she believe it, right? So to her, it really happened. So, Iyanla was like, I came with the receipts, baby. Iyanla came with the receipts and was like, okay, so you took her to the hospital. Um, they found there was no kind of violation. They did a test on the underwear, and it was popsicle, like, and she was like, well, when we got to court, they said it was Kool-Aid on the underwear, but they were a different pair of underwear, and they had just taken them out the pack and put Kool-Aid on them to make it seem that way. She done convinced herself of this lie because she did not like him. She hated him. She wanted him to suffer. She wanted to ruin his life, and that's what she did. So the girls pretty much didn't have a relationship with their father. The youngest two girls. The oldest girl, she told her, if you want to live in my house, you're going to have to go down to the court and tell the people that your father molested you. And the girl said, I'm not saying that. And I'm going to tell them that you told us to say that. So she shipped her ass off to group home. And so she was real angry. And she's like, she has to show this tough exterior. You know what I mean? Like, so she's real, real angry. And she want to fight everybody. And she want to jump on everybody. And it's just crazy. But it's because she felt like, her mom ruined her whole life. Her mom didn't want her. Her mom didn't show her any love or affection or attention. And then she was taken away from her dad because of those allegations or whatever. So she was like, I felt like, she said she felt like her mom made sure to isolate her so that nobody wanted her. You know what I'm saying? So she felt lonely, which was so sad when she said that, when she wrote on the thing, I am lonely. Like, it was so sad because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? The youngest two, at least they had each other. With the crazy ass mama, at least they had each other. And that's like kind of, it touched me because that was kind of the same situation that I grew up in. Like, I have 4 siblings. I'm the oldest of 5. And I was raised in the South with my aunt. My sisters were raised together with my one brother for most of their life. Then my little brother got taken away from them. But my 2 sisters, they had each other their whole lives. They were raised together. They were always together. So I was like, that's kind of like how I felt like an outcast, like not really part of their family. So it really touched me when she said that. And the younger sister, once they realized, like, this is how she felt growing up and this is what she went through, like, the middle sister was able to hug her and, like, talk about it or whatever. The younger sister, the baby sister, the older sister had reached her hand out. Like, she wanted her to join in the hug, and she just kind of was like, whatever. That was kind of hurtful to watch because it was like she was vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? She took her mask off to show you her vulnerable side, and you pretty much was like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at it like kids, you know what I'm saying? Any attention is attention, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's good attention or bad attention. Like, if you're going to give me some attention for me being bad, then I'm going to keep being bad to get your attention. You know, like, that's how kids are. You know, like, the kids that are the worst kids are normally trying to get their parents' attention, and if they don't get it for something good, then okay, you won't give me your attention because something good, then I'm gonna be horrible and get it that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It was sad to see the younger sister do that. But then when they got in the room with just the three girls, and oh, that's when she said she was lonely. See, the two sisters, the middle sister and the older sister, hugged it out um in the room with the parents, like something where she was saying, like, you know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but that's when they hugged it out. And when the baby sister didn't want no parts of it. But once they got back in the truth room and, you know, she read out how she felt lonely, then the baby sister came over and gave her a hug. And that's so touching. I am not going to cry. I swear, if I got to pause it and come back, because that's not happening. But, you know, then she went ahead and gave her sister a hug and was like, we love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all just had to realize where each person was coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like she was a terror. It seemed like she was a horrible person, but it was because she was hurt and lonely and felt like an outcast. And they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just thought she was just a bitch. And she was towards them because of how she felt about herself, really. So, she has 5 kids. Iyanla gave her the bizarre niece when she was like, she is a bad mother. You know what I'm saying? You are a bad mother. You're angry, you're hostile, you have a short temper, you are a bad mother. You can't be a good example and a good mother doing all of this in front of your kids, like showing your kids all of this dysfunction and anger and violence. That you can't be a good mother with that. Is what she's saying. She was saying, you know, being a provider and being a mother are 2 different things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she might provide for them, but she's not showing them good mothering skills. And it was sad. And then, you know, they did a lot of detector tests. Daddy passed. All of his said he was being honest. Mama failed. All of her said she was not being honest, which basically was that she knew that she didn't think when she said that he was raping his daughters, that she knew it was a lie. She knew it was a lie that he hadn't done anything to them in any kind of sexual way, but she still rolled with it. And the oldest one, another time that she, you know, admitted how she felt when she was like, you was standing by the toilet crying, and you peed on yourself, and you stood there and cried and wouldn't get on the toilet, and I took you to the doctor, and they said you had a yeast infection. So she was like, if you thought that he was doing something to me at that age because I was crying, I had a yeast infection, she was like, why didn't you react the same way you reacted with the second girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? With the second girl was like outraged. She called 911. She rushed us to the hospital. Like, they had court. It was like outrage. With the first one, it was just like, oh, I took her to the doctor. She had a yeast infection. I automatically assumed that he was doing something to her. Like, so where was the outrage with that one? There wasn't any. Because she didn't like that daughter from the beginning because she looked just like the man. The other daughters looked like her. Like the younger 2 daughters, they look like her. The oldest one looked just like that man. So she could not stand her. And she was like, you know, would you love me if I was Clyde's? Would you love me more if I was Clyde's? And she was like, I can't answer that. Like, she don't want to hurt your feelings. She's saying, yes, if you were Clyde's child, she would have loved you more. Or if you looked like her, she would have loved you more. Like, you look like your daddy. You reminded her of your daddy every time she looked at you. So she ain't want nothing to do with you. Which is sad because the mom wrote on the wall that she never wanted to have kids. But you have three by this man. You never wanted to have kids with him. You thought that he was doing something to your first child, but you had two more kids with him. Sis, that's not even no excuse. Like her saying she never wanted to have any kids, that don't work for me, because if you never wanted to have any kids and that's the reason that you weren't the greatest mother, then you should have been like that to each and every last one of them kids, not just the one that looked like him. I'm not buying it, sis. Not today. So yeah, it was a sad episode to see like she ruined that man's life for so long because she was mad at him. And she told him she was gonna ruin his life, and she did. But she didn't realize that not only did she ruin his life, but she ruined her offspring's lives too. Like, you ruined your children's lives too, because your daughters don't know what it is to have a healthy relationship with both of their parents. None of them. None of your daughters know that, because the youngest two thought they were molested or raped by him, so they didn't want to be around him. The oldest one knew that he was not a bad person, but she ain't fool with you because you sent her away. So none of your kids know what a healthy relationship with their parents are. Like, that's sad. You caused these children to be another generation of angry black women when you didn't have to. That was all based on your anger. Like, that didn't have to happen. Like, we as black mothers have to break the cycle. Like, we don't need to continue creating generations of angry black women. Like, at some point, something gotta give. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, you know, if a person has like a two-parent household, then they come out a lot more stable. They have a chance of a stable life if they have a two-parent household where they're getting the love and attention that they need, the discipline, the positive reinforcements that they need. But as single black moms, we also still need to learn how to stop creating more angry black women. Like, that's not cool. So, you know what I'm saying? That goes for me too. I have a daughter. She's 14. But I try to give her all the positive feedback that I possibly can. I try to give her as much positivity as I can push out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my own issues and demons to deal with, but I try to push out as much positivity on my kids as I possibly can. And they have fathers that are in their lives. They can call and ask for stuff. My daughter texts with her dad every morning. He tells her good morning, and he hopes she has a great day at school because he lives 8 hours away from here. So, they talk every morning. My son is with his father every day. I drop him off at school in the morning. He gets off of the bus at his dad's house in the afternoon, and then I pick him up when I get off work at night. So he's with his dad a lot. So, it's possible to be a single parent and, you know, to produce healthy young black children. So I really wish the mother hadn't done that to her children growing up. And I know it had a lot to do with her childhood, but still, it wasn't fair to put your issues off on your children. So that was a really emotional episode. Like, I had to go through a couple Kleenexes. And Iyanla, this is why I do not watch you unless it's a celebrity. Like, when you got the people from like all the love and hip hop shows or the Real Housewives shows, love and basketball shows, hey, I can get down with it, because those aren't normally emotional, except for the one with Memphis, however you pronounce his name. His was emotional, but the rest of them really weren't. But this one right here was definitely emotional. It got me almost as much as the five sons. Is that the one it was? You know the name. If you watch Iyanla Fix My Life, because if you don't, you probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you watch Iyanla Fix My Life like regularly, Then there was a episode. It actually was like 2 or 3 episodes, I think. Was it a 3 part? Where it was like the lady had 5 sons and they ended up having to take care of themselves, like living in cars and stuff because the mama was on crack and the daddy was on crack too. Why he tried to act like he just didn't know, or he just didn't have enough money to take care of them kids. Nah, he was on drugs too. Because how you not know where your kids are all the time? I'm not buying it. But I digress. But yeah, these are some emotional ass shows, and Lord, I can't spend my weekend having all this emotion pulled out of me. Like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. That's why I stopped watching Intervention too, because that's another emotional ass show. But that was my little sprinkle of input on Iyanla Fix My Life with a lot of detector. And yeah, this girl is giving me life. Now I'm to go wash my hair, and the shrinkage is gonna be real. So I'm gonna have a wig on tomorrow. If I come back and do videos tomorrow, I'm gonna have a wig on. So y'all take in the fur. Ugh, it's so beautiful. I was so bald head a year ago, like real bald head, like barbershop bald head, and now look at it. I'm gonna holla at y'all. I'm probably gonna do another video though tonight about Fire Festival since it's trending. Why not? I need some subscribers over here, and then I can get some better equipment. Once I get some subscribers over here, I can get some better equipment. So I might as well do a couple of videos on topics that are trending. Maybe get me a couple more people, a couple more views, so I can get an actual camera so that we can stop dealing with this horrible ass quality. But until then,